This one was personal. And you can feel that personal issue that Wendy just talked about with Nico Harrison on the sideline before the game, watching the two not address each other, that awkwardness. And when Luka made that three, there was a part of me, of course, that thought he was staring at the bench. There was also a big part of me that, you know, as somebody who's spiteful, and I call myself Petty LaBelle sometimes, and seeing how LeBron and Luka are that way too. Like it almost felt like Luka was searching for Nico Harrison. He was searching for management.
Boy, has he here. 5-point lead, 10-point for Luka.
A pregame warm-up. Here he is again. Is he hot? He's red hot! The Dons!
Luka Doncic is no longer donning Mavericks blue. He's now draped in the iconic purple and gold. The Los Angeles Lakers have pulled off the unthinkable, landing one of the most electrifying talents in basketball. The entire league is in shock. When a team parts ways with a generational superstar, there's usually a reason: contract disputes, locker room turmoil, or a trade demand. But this time, the Mavericks let Luka walk without a single justifiable explanation. After trading away the most talented player in franchise history, Jason Kidd tried to downplay Luka's impact on the team. Here's how he explained what the Mavericks would look like post-Luka.
Everybody would get more shots just because of the player that we traded. He was involved in everything.
That's it. As if getting a few more field goal attempts somehow justified throwing away a generational playmaker, a leader, and the best chance they had at another championship. Not once did he even say Luka's name. Not once did he acknowledge what Luka meant to the team. And if Jason Kidd wasn't making sense, Mavs GM Nico Harrison was even worse. If Jason Kidd at least tried to explain the trade, Nico Harrison didn't even pretend to have an answer. When questioned about giving up Luka for Anthony Davis, Harrison shrugged it off.
Time will tell if I'm right.
That was his defense for one of the worst trades in NBA history. Not a detailed basketball reason, not a clear plan for the team's future, not even a shred of confidence in what he had just done. Just a vague, time will tell. Time had already told us everything we needed to know. Luka Doncic was a generational player. Luka Doncic had already led the Mavericks to an NBA Finals. Luka Doncic was the type of talent you build around, not give up on. They knew they had just made the biggest mistake in franchise history. But instead of admitting it, they tried to control the narrative. And when that failed, they resorted to media leaks, fake concerns, and character attacks to make Luka look like the problem. The Mavericks didn't just trade away Luka Doncic, they tried to erase him. Not long after the trade, the leaks started pouring in. One viral report summed up the whispers from Mavs insiders. The people who witnessed Doncic's last days in Dallas do not paint a flattering portrait of the 26-year-old's professionalism. They call him lazy. They talk about his weight issues. They mention his taste for beer and hookah, predicting that his health will lead to catastrophe in the next 5 years. It wasn't just criticism. It was an attempt to rewrite Luka's legacy before he even had a chance to respond. The Mavs wanted to justify their decision by making it seem like they were moving on from a problem, not a generational talent. Luka never addressed the rumors, no interviews, no social media jabs, no shots at the Mavericks. But if the Mavericks thought they had the last word when they traded him, Luka Doncic was about to make sure they were dead wrong. The trade was just the beginning. What came next? Luka's revenge tour. And it started with his very first game as a Laker. His Lakers debut, a warning to the league. Luka's first game as a Laker wasn't just about getting acclimated, it was a statement. He controlled the floor, he dictated the tempo. He was able to give everyone just a glimpse of what he was going to do. And by the time the game was over, the entire NBA world was talking.
Turnover, same two teams, 2 nights from now in Salt Lake. Luka waltzes in, counted and one.
And I like the turn so much under control as he gets in and he absorbs that contact. Got that big body.
This was a solid debut for the future face of the Lakers franchise and the future face of the league. The Mavericks may have traded him, but he wasn't just going to fade away. He was going to haunt them. Then came what J.J. Redick would later call the blackout episode, a time where everything slowed down and defenses didn't stand a chance. Step-back threes, unstoppable. Ridiculous cross-court passes, right on target. Finishing through contact didn't even faze him. Defenders tried everything, it didn't matter. Luka was locked in, and the game was at his mercy.
I told him this morning that I want at least one blackout episode where he's screaming indiscriminately at no one in particular because he's excited. Like, that means he's back. That's the Luka I know, the killer.
This wasn't just a hot shooting night. This was a superstar entering a level only a handful of players in NBA history have ever reached. And at that moment, the Mavericks' decision looked even worse. Because Luka wasn't just playing well, he was playing like the best player in the world. And then, there was the moment that changed everything. The no call that defined Luka's mindset. A drive to the basket, contact, no whistle, no foul. Most players, they'd stop, throw their hands up, and complain to the refs. Luka powered through. Luka made the shot. Luka kept moving.
Dribbling one-on-one against Michael Porter. Porter moving right. Luka shoots a 10-footer, and even
This wasn't just another bucket, it was a message. No more looking for calls, no more waiting for respect. Luka wasn't just beating teams, he was bullying them. This was the moment where the league realized that Luka wasn't just on a revenge tour, he was taking the entire NBA by storm. And for the Dallas Mavericks, it was only the beginning of their regrets. The league wasn't going to let Luka Doncic dominate without resistance. As his revenge tour picks up steam, defenders got more physical, teams threw extra bodies at him, and the trash talk reached another level. He embraced it. He didn't just respond, he made them pay. And every time someone tried to rattle him, he turned it into a highlight. Some fouls are tactical, some fouls are smart. And then, there's what Chris Dunn did to Luka. The Chris Dunn foul was a reckless play that could easily have gone horribly wrong. Dunn's hit from behind sent Luka to the ground, hard. It wasn't a basketball play. It wasn't a strategic foul. It was reckless and could have caused a serious injury. But Luka didn't even react. No complaining, no retaliation, just straight back to business, because Luka wasn't going to let one dumb foul throw him off his game. And as Dunn walked away, Luka was already planning his next move. Luka doesn't just hit big shots, he makes sure everyone in the building knows about it. A highlight reel three and a stare down for the opponent's bench. When he drilled a cold-blooded three-pointer, he didn't just celebrate, he made sure his defender felt it. And then, he turned and stared straight at the opposing bench. That was just Luka saying, "Yeah, that just happened." The opponent's bench could only watch, because Luka wasn't just beating them on the scoreboard, he was breaking them mentally. James Harden is one of the most skilled offensive players of his generation, but defensively, he never had a shot against Luka. James Harden never had a chance, and Luka let him know it. Luka got exactly what he wanted, went straight at Harden and got his shot off with ease. And after the bucket, he had some words for Harden. Luka wasn't just scoring. He was making sure his opponents knew they couldn't stop him. Some players struggle to hit basic shots under pressure. Luka, the 363-pointer, just for fun. He spins in circles and drains them, just because he can. At this point, he wasn't just proving a point, he was putting on a show, and when the shot dropped through the net, the arena erupted. Because Luka isn't just dominating teams, he's humiliating them. Chris Dunn already had one moment to regret against Luka, and then Luka gave him another one. No words needed. He powered through the contact, finished the bucket, and taunted them. Hold him, bump into him, none of that matters. Just move on straight to the next play. Because for Luka, this wasn't personal. It was just another night at the office. Luka Doncic's offensive brilliance is undeniable, but he's proving he's more than just a scorer. He's locking in defensively, making winning plays, and showing that he can dominate every aspect of the game. And when people doubted his defense, he shut them up real quick. Watch Luka's defensive instincts on display. He reads the play perfectly, jumps the passing lane, and snatches the ball with ease, turning defense into offense in a split second. This isn't the lazy Luka people tried to label him as. This is a player locked in, making game-changing plays on both ends of the floor. For most players, trick shots and impossible angle buckets are just for fun. But for Luka, this is simply practice. Watch Luka casually knock down insane trick shots in warm-ups. Contested, off balance, fading away, it doesn't matter. Luka makes it look easy, and when it's time for the actual game, that practice pays off. It's why he can take ridiculous step-back threes over elite defenders and still drain them like it's nothing. Some players need space to shoot. Luka doesn't need space, he just needs the ball. Watch Luka hit another ridiculous step-back three to end the quarter. With the shot clock winding down, a defender draped all over him, and no separation whatsoever, Luka still buries the three. And the best part, he knew it was in before it even left his hands. This is why he's unstoppable. You can't speed him up. You can't push him off his spot. You can't rattle him. All you can do is watch and hope he misses, and most nights he doesn't. Luka isn't just one of the best scorers in the league, he's also one of the best playmakers. He sees things before they happen. Watch Luka throw a perfect assist to Rui Hachimura. With the defense scrambling, Luka doesn't panic. He spots Rui Hachimura cutting, throws a pinpoint dime, and delivers an easy bucket. This is what makes him so special. He's not just getting his own shot, he's elevating everyone around him. And that's why the Lakers are playing their best basketball in years. Luka doesn't just play, he punishes opponents. Them trying to get in his head, it didn't work. Defenders tried to get physical, he shrugged it off. Trash talkers tried to bait him, he just answered with buckets. Luka doesn't just respond to challenges, he thrives on them. And if the league thought they could slow him down, they were only adding fuel to the fire. Then came the game that everyone had been waiting for, Luka Doncic's first matchup against the Dallas Mavericks. But this wasn't just another game on the schedule. This was revenge in its purest form. The franchise that once built its future around him had turned its back on him. The same fans who once worshipped him were now conflicted, unsure whether to boo or cheer the team they had loved. And Luka? He was about to remind them exactly what they lost. Even before tip-off, you could feel it. Luka wasn't smiling. Luka wasn't joking around. He was locked in. It was time to show them. As he went through his warm-up routine, the message was clear. This wasn't just another night. The Mavericks thought they had moved on. They thought they had made the right decision. It was clear to everyone on every side, Luka was about to give this everything he had. The moment the ball was tipped, the energy inside Crypto.com arena was different. The game wasn't being played in Dallas, but that didn't matter. This felt like a playoff atmosphere. And from the very start, Luka made sure to let the Mavericks know what they were in for. The Mavericks tried to be physical with him, tried to rattle him, but it only fueled him more. Every basket Luka made felt like a dagger, not just to the Mavs, but to their entire fan base. Watch Luka turn Dallas into his personal punching bag. At this point, he drilled a step-back three, turned to the Mavericks bench and stared them down. Dallas didn't know how to react. All of them knew the truth. Luka was unstoppable. This wasn't just Luka playing basketball. The Mavericks thought they could move on without Luka Doncic. Luka made sure they never forgot him. From the moment he stepped onto the court in a Los Angeles Lakers jersey, he was on a mission. Not just to win, but to destroy any narrative that he wasn't that guy. Every game, every highlight, every performance, it wasn't just basketball anymore. It was personal. And Luka wasted no time proving why the Mavericks had just made the biggest mistake in franchise history. The triple-double that made Mavs fans sick. Luka didn't just win the game, he put up a triple-double. And not just any triple-double, one that made sure his first game against Dallas would never be forgotten. He dominated every possession. He carved up their defense with surgical precision. He made sure there was no debate about who the best player on the floor was. And when the game was over, the Lakers' W that only served to further deflate the once great Dallas Mavericks. The Mavericks thought they had a future without Luka. Luka showed them what their future really looked like. A team that traded away a once-in-a-generation talent and now had to watch him dominate from afar. And as he walked off the court, leaving his former franchise in ruins, one thing was clear. Luka Doncic doesn't forget. And he definitely doesn't forgive. Some players struggle after a blockbuster trade, needing time to adjust, find chemistry, and get comfortable in a new system. Luka Doncic? He's never looked better. Since joining the Los Angeles Lakers, Luka hasn't just maintained his dominance, he's elevated his game to a level no one thought possible. More efficient, more unstoppable, more determined than ever. And alongside LeBron James and Austin Reeves, Luka has transformed the Lakers into a legitimate championship contender. But he's not just dominating, he's having fun doing it. Every game, every moment, Luka is playing with a different kind of energy. And nothing proved it more than this moment. Luka pulls up from deep. The ball barely touches the net, and then he starts dancing, moving to the beat, soaking in the moment. This wasn't just confidence. This was Luka letting the world know that he's in complete control. The crowd erupts, his teammates love it. And his defender? Completely helpless. This wasn't just a highlight. Luka wasn't just thriving on the court. He was thriving in the spotlight, embracing every second, and showing why the Lakers were now the team to fear. The Lakers have turned a corner. Luka Doncic is rewriting the NBA landscape. When the trade first happened, doubts poured in from all angles. Would Luka and LeBron be able to coexist? Would Luka's playstyle fit in Los Angeles? Could he handle the weight of championship expectations? Now, there are no more doubts. Luka and Bron are dominant playmakers. Both control the pace of the game, and both have been the primary initiator for their teams their entire careers. Their chemistry has been seamless, and plays like this prove why. Watch Luka throw a full-court touchdown pass to LeBron. A perfect read, a perfect pass, a perfect finish. This isn't just two superstars sharing the court. This is two of the highest IQ players in NBA history feeding off each other. With Luka's elite vision and pinpoint passing, and LeBron's size, speed, and finishing ability, this duo is built to pick defenses apart. They don't just run an offense, they control the game. The Lakers aren't just surviving with Luka, they're thriving. This was a team that looked directionless just months before the trade. An aging LeBron, a roster with pieces that didn't quite fit, a franchise struggling to find its next identity. But since Luka arrived, everything has changed. The offense flows smoother, the ball moves with purpose, the team plays with confidence, and the results? Undeniable. The Lakers aren't just good, they're legitimate contenders.
How legit are the Lakers' title chances?
I mean, as far as, do they have a chance? Are they a legitimate contender? 1,000%.
The answer is clear. The Lakers are a threat to win it all. And the reason? Luka Doncic. The Lakers are playing winning basketball again. Luka has brought something back to the Lakers that had been missing: belief. For the first time in years, the Lakers don't just have star power, they have an identity. This isn't just Luka and LeBron dominating. This is a team that's built to win. As one analyst put it,
you got two of the greatest players in the world right now on the same team, two unselfish players that make everybody around them better. And it's not about just being ball dominant and crossing people over and going to get buckets. These dudes are getting everybody involved. They can score at a high clip. They have really good role players around them. They are contenders.
The Lakers aren't just running an offense around superstars. They're playing complete winning basketball. Role players are thriving. The defense has stepped up. LeBron doesn't have to do everything anymore. And with Luka leading the charge, this team isn't just good. They're a problem for the entire NBA. The Lakers' transformation since acquiring Luka Doncic has been nothing short of spectacular. A team that once seemed stuck in mediocrity has now become a force to be reckoned with, proving that this wasn't just a good trade, it was a franchise-altering move. And what do NBA analysts think?
What their ceiling is in the Western Conference.
Oh, it's super high, and guess what? I'm going to take it a step further.
Oh, goodness.
Right now, the Los Angeles Lakers are saving the NBA.
The league was desperate for a shakeup. With super teams failing, injuries derailing contenders, and predictable playoff outcomes looming, something had to change. And now, Luka has given the NBA the storyline it needed. This isn't just another star finding success. This is a generational player turning one of the most storied franchises back into a powerhouse. It's one thing to make the playoffs, it's another to become the team no one wants to face. The Western Conference has no shortage of talent, but what about Nikola and the Nuggets?
Yeah, they looking like a real threat in the West, because I don't see the teams in front of them with the experience outside of Denver, because they got the best player in the league. You know, they're going to be a threat, and then, but see, Luka can cancel him out all across the board.
Nikola Jokic and the Nuggets may have the championship experience, but Luka's presence changes the equation. With his combination of size, skill, and IQ, Luka is one of the few players in the league who can neutralize Denver's biggest advantage, Jokic himself. And if Luka can cancel out Jokic, the rest of the West is in trouble. The NBA world thought they had seen everything. Then Luka took the floor in purple and gold. Now, they see the truth. Luka's biggest doubters? They've been silenced. Opposing teams? They revolve their entire game plans around stopping him. Yet few have succeeded. Every night, Luka isn't just playing basketball. He's shifting the balance of power in the NBA. And the Mavericks have to watch from a distance as their former superstar becomes the face of a championship contender. The Lakers are back. Luka is only getting started. He was never the problem. Dallas made a mistake. And now, they have to live with it. Because no matter what the Mavericks tell themselves, no matter how they try to justify their decision, the truth stares them in the face every single night. They let a generational talent slip away. They thought they were moving forward. They convinced themselves that they were making the best decision for the franchise. But every time Luka steps onto the court in purple and gold, it serves as a painful reminder of what they lost. They didn't just trade a star. They threw away a future MVP. And Luka won't ever let them forget it. Every game, every bucket, every moment he dominates, he reminds the entire league the Mavericks had something special. And they let it go. This isn't just a trade. This is personal. This is Luka Doncic on a mission, not just to win, but to destroy every narrative Dallas tried to create about him. They said he wasn't disciplined enough, yet he's dominating the league. They said he wasn't in shape, yet he's playing and showing for important basketball games. They said he wasn't the right player to build around, yet he's leading the Lakers to championship contention. Every excuse they made is falling apart in real time. And the scariest part? We're still at the beginning. Did the Mavericks really think they were moving forward? In reality, they set themselves back for years. Because while Dallas tries to find their new identity, Luka is out there building his legacy. And for the rest of the league, you've been warned. Luka Doncic's revenge tour has only just begun.